Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. You can watch this program live on our Facebook page, Radyo Pilipinas World Service, and you can also hear us live on audio streaming at Evox PBS receiver app. So join us for another edition of Front and Center with your host, Jerome Toledo.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
So let's step back a bit on the issue of the anomalous flood control projects for now. Let us draw ourselves to the mandatory drug test that Senator Robin Padilla is pushing. Because in his Senate Bill number 1200, or also known as the Drug-Free Government Act, again, that's a Drug-Free Government Act, Senator Padilla proposed that the drug test will be conducted in two parts. First one is the hair follicle drug test, and the second and the confirmatory test will be done through a urine drug test. And under the proposal, all elected and appointed government officials, as well as the government instrumentalities or government-owned and controlled corporation or GOCCs, whether domestic or overseas, are included in this test. And any official found positive for the use of the dangerous drugs or substances shall be charged an administrative case, which may result in suspension and eventually termination from his oath of office. And the bill also sought to institutionalize the voluntary random hair follicle drug testing of candidates for electoral posts within 90 days before the election day. And Senator Padilla said in his explanatory note that all government officials are subjected to this test to ensure integrity of an official, and it is a necessary tool to reinforce the government's commitment to serve or to service founded on responsibility, integrity, and loyalty to the people. And while this bill promotes accountability for government officials, Malacanang on Thursday warned that the proposal may have a conflict under the Constitution. Palace Press Officer Attorney Claire Castro, or Yusek Claire Castro, stressed that only random and suspicionless drug testing has been upheld by the Supreme Court, as she cites the 2008 ruling on Social Justice Society versus Dangerous Drugs Board jurisprudence. And Malacanang respects the Senate's move to push for the mandatory drug testing. However, it maintained that it is against the Constitution and, at the same time, the right to privacy compared to random drug testing. And Yusek Claire Castro recommended only to do random drug testing as it may harm a person's human rights. And Yusek Castro further stressed that should they wish to proceed, that is the prerogative of a official, but they are simply stating that what the SC or the Supreme Court's jurisprudence says on the universal drug testing. And the Palace Press officer said the SC or the Supreme Court itself compared random testing with mandatory drug testing for persons already charged with crimes. And Senators Padilla, Chief of Staff Attorney Rudolph Philip Jurado, advised Yusek Castro to revisit that same jurisprudence she cited after the palace official on Wednesday in a press briefing said the proposed measure violates the law and the Constitution. So meaning that's unconstitutional, but the chief of staff of Senator Padilla has advised Yusek Castro to revisit that jurisprudence. And Attorney Jurado acknowledged, however, that the matter would have to be debated and settled in the Senate first. And Attorney Jurado maintained that it will be up to the Supreme Court to strike out the law as unconstitutional, given that the Supreme Court is the last resort of all the legal remedies and all the legal cases that has been in question. So the Supreme Court will make a decision regarding that. And also, since we are talking about the drug-free, the Drug-Free Government Act that was pushed by Senator Robin Padilla, Senator Rafi Tulfo is preparing to file a bill to institutionalize random drug testing for incumbent, elective, and appointive officials, a move aimed at strengthening accountability and integrity in government service. So this one, though a similar one, Senator Rafi Tulfo's bill or Senate bill is a bit different from what is Senator Robin Padilla's proposing. This one, Senator Padilla is pushing for a mandatory drug test for government officials. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Senator Rafi Tulfo is pushing for a institutionalizing random drug test for elective and appointive officials. And the move will ensure that the public officials are held to the highest standards of conduct while reinforcing public trust. So that's what Senator Rafi Tulfo said in a press release that was posted on the Senate website rather. And as Senator Rafi Tulfo points out, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. And also that quotation from Senator Tulfo resembles with of what Senator Robin Padilla is saying. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. So he clarified. Senator Tulfo clarified that his proposal excludes election candidates to comply with the Supreme Court's 2008 ruling in Social Justice Society versus the Dangerous Drugs Board, which struck down mandatory drug testing for candidates as unconstitutional. So that's what PCO Undersecretary and Attorney Claire Castro is pointing out, that the proposal of Senator Robin Padilla is unconstitutional, and that is against the ruling that was a ruling released by the Supreme Court in 2008. And to lead by example, of course, Senator Tulfo and his entire Senate staff recently underwent voluntary drug testing. That's a step, he said, demonstrates his commitment to the reform he is proposing. Okay, so the proposal stemmed from an incident at the Senate where a political officer of Senator Robin Padilla reportedly caught smoking a substance that is illegal under drug regulations. And that incident caused a controversy that prompted Senate officials led by Senate President Chis Escudero to propose drug testing in their own ranks at the Senate. Also, on a side note, to set a role model among their ranks, Senator Juan Miguel Subiri underwent drug testing this week, hoping that his colleagues will take his lead and promote a drug-free Senate. So this bill will be the drug-free Government Act that was Senator Robin Padilla is pushing, is up for the senators to debate and to whether to pass it, and they will be endorsing it, and they will be, I think, and it will eventually becomes a law. So we'll have to wait and see for that development.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And going to the legal matters, particularly this extradition case, the Department of Justice, through its spokesperson Assistant Secretary Miko Clavano said that in general, a person cannot be extradited from the Philippines while a criminal case against him is pending in court. In an interview with reporters, Attorney Clavano or Assistant Secretary Clavano said local courts take precedence over an extradition request. He said that the rule is that he must first face trial and, if convicted, serve his sentence here before extradition may proceed. ASEC Clavano issued the statement following the reported request by the United States government for the extradition of a religious leader and televangelist, Apollo Kibuloy, who has been accused by the U.S. government of conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, at the same time fraud and coercion and sex trafficking of children, among other charges. And he said, as Clavano said, that however, courts will retain the power to act on cases with urgency. So if circumstances warrant, it may move to resolve proceedings in order to not to unduly delay a valid extradition request. And Pastor Kibuloy is facing charges of qualified human trafficking here in the Philippines.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Okay, let's proceed here to the upcoming visit of the Australian Defense Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. That's Richard Marles, and Richard Marles is about to visit Manila today with the goal of further strengthening the already close defense ties between Manila and Canberra. Defense Minister Marles said he will be meeting with Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. as the visit is expected to build on the two nations' cooperation and mutual trust through the second Australia-Philippines Defense Ministers meeting. And Marles said that he will meet with Secretary Teodoro to build capacity in strengthening interoperability among Filipino and Australian armed forces. And Marles will also meet with Australian personnel that will participate in the exercise Alon 25. That's Australia's largest overseas joint training activity this year. And the defense partnership between Australia and the Philippines aligns with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s call for stronger regional cooperation to safeguard stability in the Indo-Pacific region. And that's what the administration is pushing for, the strong and stable Indo-Pacific region without any aggression from any foreign countries. And also, aside from the Philippines and Australia, the United States and Canada will join and participate in the joint exercise, totaling over 3,600 personnel or military troops, deployed for the event. And Marles added that the participation of their troops, Australian troops, at the exercise island reflects a shared commitment to working together to maintain a peace, secure and prosperous region where sovereignty is respected.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And more stories and developments here in the Philippines when Front and Center returns here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Mas pinadali na ang government transactions sa tulong ng eGovPH Super App. Pwedeng-pwede mo nang magawa ang lahat ng ito. I-download ang eGov app sa iyong smartphone o tablet mula sa App Store o Google Play Store. Pagkatapos, ilagay ang iyong mobile number at i-authenticate gamit ang one-time PIN o OTP para marehistro ang iyong account. Saka ilagay ang iyong mga pangunahing impormasyon at kumpletuhin ang facial recognition technology para sa verifikasyon ng iyong pagkakakilanlan. Para sa mas mabilis at mas maayos na serbisyong panggobyerno, gamitin na ang eGovPH Super App.
Garantisadong solusyon at aksyon ang handog sa iyo ng bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. Sundin lang ang mga sumusunod para makakuha ng appointment. Para sa wala pang eGov.ph app account, panoorin ang video para malaman kung paano gumawa ng account. Kung meron ng account sa eGov.ph app, mag-login dito. Saka hanapin ang online registration tab para sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. Pindutin ito para makita ang available na government services. Piliin ang serbisyo na iyong kailangan mula sa listahan. I-upload ang requirements ng serbisyong kailangan mo. Pumili ng petsa at oras kung kailan nais pumunta sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. I-submit na ang iyong application at bigyan ng pagkakataon na ma-review ang iyong isinumiting requirements. Hintayin ang QR code para sa kumpirmasyon ng iyong schedule. Makakatanggap ka ng text message para malaman kung naaprubahan ito. Sakaling hindi ito maaprubahan, makakatanggap ka rin ng text message para ipaalam ang kulang na requirements sa kasubukang mag-register ulit. Kung nakatanggap na ng kumpirmasyon, maaari nang pumunta sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center sa napiling schedule, dala ang QR code at ang mga isinumiting requirements. Huwag kalimutang dumating sa itinakdang araw at oras ng iyong appointment. Pinapaalala rin na siguruhing may kumpirmadong schedule bago pumunta sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center para maiwasang magpabalik-balik. Simple at user-friendly ang pagpapa-appointment dito, kaya wag nang mangamba dahil sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center, tulong ay abot kamay na.
Akala ko dati, sobrang mahal ng tablets. Pero dahil sa ASEAN, halos zero na ang buwis sa tech imports. Kaya mas affordable na sa mga tulad kong estudyante.
Sa digitized custom system ng ASEAN, mas mabilis dumating ang mga learning gadgets. Mas konti ang delay, mas marami ang matututunan.
Mas madali na mag-source ng parts at accessories ngayon. Dahil sa trade agreements ng ASEAN, mas mabilis ang cross-border shipping at mas mura ang gastos.
Dahil sa mas malawak na internet sa ASEAN, kahit sa probinsya nakakabili na kami ng tech online. At maraming ASEAN-made products na good quality. Abot kaya pa.
ASEAN supports local innovation. Meron tayong mga hubs na tumutulong sa mga inventors at startups gaya ko para protektahan ang ideas at gawing negosyo.
Hindi ako techie pero ngayon marunong na ako magbayad at tumanggap ng QR gamit ang phone. Dahil sa ASEAN, mas accessible ang technology kahit sa maliliit na negosyo.
Dahil sa digital trade provisions ng ASEAN, mas maraming tech brands online. Nakaka-order ako ng gadgets at accessories na dati ay imported lang. Ngayon, mas mura at legal.
Dahil sa ASEAN, mas abot kaya ang tech, mas mabilis ang access, at mas maraming oportunidad para sa lahat.
Innovation across borders para sa bawat Pilipino.
Hindi na lang sa sariling bayan na ipapamalas ang talento ng Pilipino. Dahil sa ASEAN, umaabot na sa iba't ibang panig ng rehiyon ang sining natin, kinikilala, pinapakinggan at hinahangaan. Alam mo ba, mas marami na ang Filipino artist na naipapakita ang kanilang obra sa buong Southeast Asia dahil sa ASEAN.
I can't wait for ASEAN to create more programs that will encourage collaboration. I think what would be nice is meeting the past participants. ASEAN would be open to residencies not just for artists but also to writers, to art critics, to curators, to other cultural workers.
Sa ASEAN Artist Residency Program, ilang Pilipino na ang napiling lumikha ng sining sa Jakarta, Indonesia at ang kanilang likha bahagi na ngayon ng permanent collection ng ASEAN Gallery. Mayroon ding Connect ASEAN, isang art exchange program na gumagamit ng online at on-site exhibits sa mga palabas sa Manila, Jakarta at Busan. Tampok ang mga likha ng Filipino artist sa harap ng libu-libong manonood. At nitong 2024, tampok rin ang galing ng mga Filipino graphic artist sa ASEAN Graphic Arts Exhibition sa Vietnam, kasama ang higit 150 likha mula sa buong ASEAN. Pero higit pa sa pagpapamalas ng husay sa sining ang layunin ng ASEAN. Sa pamamagitan nito, nabubuo ang palitan ng kultura at ideya sa pagitan ng mga artist mula sa iba't ibang bansa. Mula rito ay sumisibol ang koneksyon, pagkakaibigan at mga obrang mas makabago, mas makulay at mas makahulugan. Dahil sa ASEAN, ang sining ng Pilipino ay hindi na lang para sa lokal na eksena. Ngayon, may entabladong regional, mas malawak, mas makulay at mas kinikilala.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome back to Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service with me, Jerome Toledo. And despite the noise that is being created by the anomalous flood projects, and also at the same time the corruption issue at the Department of Public Works and Highways, here we are. We have news here from the Department of Budget and Management, because DBM has released its agency performance review for 2024, and 14 government departments and agencies receive a high rating of outstanding rate. And those agencies that received an outstanding rating or a score of 5 includes the following agencies. Number 1 is the Civil Service Commission, Public Attorney's Office, Foreign Service Institute, Games and Amusement Board, and the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency. And other agencies included in the outstanding rating are the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, National Labor Relations Commission, as well as National Wages and Productivity Commission, and 2 PCO attached agencies such as News and Information Bureau and the Philippine Information Agency. Meanwhile, in state universities and colleges included are the following: the Biliran Province State University, Cagayan State University, Davao del Sur State College, and President Ramon Magsaysay State University. And this review shows how government offices had delivered its public service to the public. And only 4.6% of the government offices posted outstanding rating from 308 departments and agencies included in the report that was released by the Budget and Management Department. And 59.3%, or almost 200 offices receive a very satisfactory rating from the Budget Department. Meanwhile, a total of 94 agencies, or 30.8%, got a satisfactory remarks, and that includes the Department of Budget and Management. And about 5% of the agencies, however, received low marks from the DBM, with 15 rated as unsatisfactory and 1 given a poor performance rating. And that agency that received a poor performance rating is the Romblon State University. And included, as we talk about the unsatisfactory rating, included were the Department of Finance, Office of the Secretary, as well as its attached agency, the Bureau of Customs, the National Nutrition Council, Department of Tourism's Office of the Secretary, and Philippine Commission on Sports and Scuba Diving. And DBM bared the key metrics for the performance review, such as physical outcomes, outputs, actual spending, and revenue collection against their targets and allocated budgets for the same period. And Secretary Pangandaman added that the rating intends to make government offices efficient in utilizing its budget to provide public service. And also, speaking of this review, since the National Labor Relations Commission and National Wages and Productivity Commission receive an outstanding rating, and at the same time its mother agency, the Department of Labor and Employment, receive a very satisfactory rating among its attached agencies receive a very satisfactory rating. So in this program we will try to have the Department of Labor and Employment. So that's going to be for next week. So watch out for the interview of the program with Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma, as he explains these outstanding and very satisfactory remarks or rating that they got from the Department of Budget and Management.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Now, let's point out to the anomalous flood control projects. Let's go back in a bit. This flood control project that drew ire from the president himself, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. He's not just ire, but at the same time, he's angry about of what he discovered of the flood control projects that was reported in the Sumbong sa Pangulo website. And Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada said the Department of Public Works and Highways and the Commission on Audit should be held accountable for the proliferation of ghost projects and other anomalies in flood control programs. That's what Senator Jinggoy Estrada said during his interview. And also, Senator Estrada said corruption in flood control projects is so extensive that the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee may need up to 10 hearings to cover the scope of the irregularity. So that's in short, that's the quest to find the truth behind these anomalous flood control projects. And the President Marcos Jr. wants to know the truth behind this, and so that if the truth will come out, those contractors and politicians will be held accountable for causing damages and for the lives lost because of that anomalous flood project. So they will have to seek the truth behind these anomalies in the government's flood control projects. And Senator Estrada emphasized that the alleged ghost projects could not have prospered without collusion among DPWH officials as well as contractors and auditors from the Commission on Audit. Senator Estrada said that the ghost project will not prosper without the cooperation of the said auditing agency. And the senator added that the district engineers from Bulacan and Mindoro provinces, or rather Oriental Mindoro province, along with COA representatives, must be summoned to succeeding hearings to explain their roles in the anomaly. So the first time the Senate hearing regarding this was conducted by Senator Rodante Marcoleta as he chairs the Blue Ribbon Committee. So Senator Estrada said that more Senate inquiry regarding this flood control projects anomalies will follow through, and they will conduct more in the next coming days and weeks. And Senator Estrada also raised the likelihood that some DPWH insiders, not just the officials but insiders, are cornering contracts through their own companies. And asked whether DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan should resign, Senator Estrada said the decision rests with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., but noted that Secretary Bonoan bears command responsibility. And if you can recall, Secretary Bonoan said that it is the pleasure, up to the pleasure of the President, if Bonoan will step down or will be sacked from his position as the DPWH Secretary. And he added, Senator Estrada added that resolving the flood control irregularities would be a defining legacy for the Marcos Jr. administration. So hence, the Marcos Jr. administration will continue to find the truth behind these anomalous projects, so that it will be, as Senator Estrada, will be a defining legacy for his administration.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Together with our production team and technical personnel over Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.